Exclusive contract from Feilu Novel Network Novel. Man in the Extreme Fox. Encountering demons at the beginning and being backtracked by cats traveling through the world of Time King, Lin Feng gained the power of all encountering demons at the beginning. He was completely bored and happened to sense the extreme fox world. He decisively decided to become a joyful person in the extreme fox world. A floating general who has lived for 1,000 years. The unfathomable DGP. A goddess of creation who can fulfill all desires. In Lin Feng's eyes, they are just his own toys. Kiroli. He twisted his hand into a supreme faucet buckle and said he didn't open it. Jinghe. Family members. Who knows? Playing hide and seek, he smashed a nuclear bomb. Niram. Who can translate for me? What kind of ghost is this hell demon king buckle? Sewer. Please don't participate. The goddess of creation has really lost a drop of her creative power. Cimuli, Miyin. Lord Lin Feng is mine tonight. Lin Feng spread his hands and said, the truly interesting game has just begun. Feilu Novel Network reminds you that this novel and its characters are purely fictional. If there are any similarities, they are purely coincidental and should not be imitated. Chapter 1. The Traverse from the World of Time Kings. You are listening at novelfull.audio. A 5-star hotel restaurant. Wow. Ingsho, it's Mr. Ingsho from the star within the star. Ingsho, I love you. Can you sign my name, brother Ingsho? Ingsho, can I take a group photo with you? Mr. Ingsho, my daughter is your fanatic fan. Can you help me sign her name? Fusher Ingsho, dressed in a suit and leather shoes, with short hair of 3 to 7 centimeters, calmly dined amidst the fanatical crowd of fans. Since using a wish card to become a star within a star, no matter where he goes, he is the most eye-catching and eye-catching one. In that case, maybe it can attract her attention. Ingshoman was lost in a daze, thinking to himself. Suddenly, Ingsho noticed a person, a man who was out of place, full of discord, and strange. The person was dressed in casual clothes and, like the others around him, focused their gaze on themselves, but unlike others whose eyes were full of fanaticism, they were filled with scrutiny and curiosity. Their gaze was like a child seeing a toy they were interested in. What's wrong with this person's gaze? Ingsho frowned, no one has ever looked at him like this before. With just one glance, Ingsho felt that the man was very special, not like an ordinary person. What Ingsho didn't know was that the man who was observing him was not an ordinary person, but a traveler. Lin Feng is a special second-time traveler. His first time traveling was from the real world to the world of the Time King, and he obtained an incomplete Time King template. In the world of the Demon King, he accompanied the little Demon King as a friend, guiding him to grow step by step, following him through time and space-time and time again, and finally achieving the Demon King, becoming the Demon King of encountering demons. And just as the little Demon King reached his peak, Lin Feng, who had been hiding behind the scenes, took action. He used his own template to absorb the power of the little Demon King and obtained almost omniscient and omnipotent power to encounter demons. Amidst the astonished gaze of the little Demon King, Lin Feng gained the power of encountering demons and became the king of encountering demons who transcended space and time, gathering the power of countless nights and gaining insight into the past, present, and future. Lin Feng, who achieved his goal and successfully proclaimed himself king, did not continue to linger in the world of Time Kings. He reversed the timeline and made Little Demon King, Gates, Moon Reading and others forget all of this before choosing to travel again, so Lin Feng came to this world right now, the world of extreme foxes. Lin Feng originally wanted to relax in a different world and go on vacation, but he didn't expect to come to the world of extreme foxes, and it seemed like the plot was about to start. Looking at the little foxing show, Lin Feng curled his lips and muttered to himself. Do you want to participate in the competition and play with them? Just as Lin Feng and Fu Shingsho were looking at each other, a figure in a black and white long dress walked into the restaurant. Dada high heels stepped on the wooden floor, making a crisp sound of footsteps. DGP Grand Prix guide Cimuli, holding a yellow night gift box, approached Yusuji Aisho. Fu Shingsho dispersed the fans around him, took the gift box, and opened it. Inside are spider phones, Desire Drive, and his exclusive core. Jinghe Transformation ID. The new Grand Prix race is about to begin, please pay attention to your phone information. After speaking, Cimuli was about to leave, but was stopped by Fu Shingsho. Has the night gift box been distributed yet? What kind of problem is this? However, she honestly replied. Not yet, there's still one last gift box left. Fu Shingsho looked at the man not far away who made him care and said his request. Can we give him the last spot for the contestant? Seeing a surprised expression on Cimuli's face, Yusuji Aisho said again. Anyway, you have to give it to someone else, why can't you give it to them? It's the same for you to give it to anyone, isn't it? Cimuli was aroused by Aisho's words and asked in response. Why do you do this? You don't seem to know each other, do you? Cimuli has a keen observation ability, and if they know each other, it's impossible for them to sit apart. Fu Shingsho shook his head. There is no specific reason, he gives me a very special feeling. My intuition tells me that his participation will make the Grand Prix very interesting, that's all. Finally, Cimuli agreed to Yusuji Aisho's request, as the night gift box was given to everyone, and most of the players were miscellaneous fish who would be eliminated in the first round. Sir, congratulations on qualifying for the new Desire Grand Prix. This is the contestants' equipment, please keep it safe and keep an eye out for notifications on your phone. Cimuli came to Lin Feng and said the opening statement that had been said countless times. If ordinary people were to hear this, they would be puzzled, and bewildered, but Lin Feng was not an ordinary person. He calmly accepted the night gift box and replied calmly. I understand. This is too calm, isn't it? Lin Feng's reaction made Cimuli dumbfounded, and she couldn't help but swallow her explanation words. Cimuli flattened her mouth, turned around and left in frustration, and Fu Shingsho followed along. Before leaving, she gave Lin Feng a deep glance, as if wanting to remember his appearance. Lin Feng exchanged a glance with him and made a mouth gesture. Goodbye. Not long after, the new round of DGP Grand Prix kicked off. A group of qualified contestants were all transported to the login platform located in mid-air. Welcome all contestants to participate in this year's DGP Desire Grand Prix. The ultimate winner will become the God of Desire and qualify to fulfill their wishes. Could you please fill in your wishes, contestants? Everyone is filling out their wishes, except for Lin Feng, who is looking for some acquaintances. He saw cows, civets, artificial human cats, and of course, the extreme fox of the previous Desire God was also among them. The first round of games to become the God of Desire has been announced, which is Treasure Hunting Game. The task rules are very simple. There is a certain chance that the demon disciples within the venue will carry equipment gift boxes. Players are requested to defeat the demon disciples and obtain night equipment. It should be noted that players who fail to obtain equipment will be eliminated. As soon as Cimuli finished speaking, all the contestants present were teleported to the realm of the evil spirits. The contestants were scattered in various places. Coincidentally, Lin Feng and Fu Shingsho were not far apart, but Fu Shingsho did not greet Lin Feng. After looking at him, he quickly left. Lin Feng was not surprised or concerned about this. After all, he and Fu Shingsho are not even friends, they are just strangers who have met once. Just as other players were working hard to obtain nightly equipment, Lin Feng strolled through the forest with his hands behind his back, like a spring outing. This level of game is really not difficult for him, it's not much different from playing games. Chapter II Pommeled Horse Miyin. Cats appear. You are listening at novel full.audio. Not to mention ordinary demons, even those boss-level demons cannot withstand a single move under his command. As long as he wanted, he could even slap these evil demons, along with this forest, and this realm of evil demons, to pieces in an instant. But if the firepower is fully activated as soon as it comes up, it will be boring. Playing games is good and fun. If you just lift the table when you come up, everyone won't have to play anymore. Lin Feng didn't intend to take the initiative to find trouble with the evil demon, but unexpectedly, some evil demon had set their sights on him. Suddenly, 3 evil demons wielding weapons rushed towards Lin Feng like jackals among the trees. The demon cultivator had an ugly appearance and a tall figure. If an ordinary person were to face 3 demon cultivators rushing towards them, they would have been frightened long ago. But who is Lin Feng, the king of encountering demons with the power of encountering demons enhanced? Just 3 evil demons, he doesn't even need to transform, his physical body can be directly shattered. With a step on his feet, Lin Feng chuckled lightly, slowly raised his hand, and clenched his fist. Bang! 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 The air was compressed to make a loud explosion sound, and Lin Feng's movements were so fast that he couldn't even capture the live broadcast camera. He saw the heads of 3 evil demons explode inexplicably in an instant. After one of the demons fell to the ground, a night gift box fell out, which was the key item to pass the first level. Lin Feng knew that there was a night buckle inside, and any player who failed to obtain the buckle would be eliminated at the end of this round. Pick up the night gift box, open it and see the lowest level water gun buckle inside. It can still be used in environments with water. If there is no water source, the water gun is like a fire stick, with no effect except for a swing. If it were someone like Nyo, they would definitely have a strong aversion to water gun buckles, but Lin Feng's face was indifferent. So what about water gun buckles? With the blessing of the power of encountering demons, the water gun with buckle can also move instantly. As soon as Lin Feng put away the buckle of the water gun, he heard a disorderly footsteps coming from one side. Turning around, he saw Xiao Na Cat, that is, Pommeled Horse Miyin, running out of the grass in panic. Behind him, there were 2 evil spirits and disciples chasing after him. Seeing the Pommeled Horse Miyin, Lin Feng squinted, didn't say anything, and didn't mean to make a move. Until Pommeled Horse Miyin shouted. Be careful. Run quickly. There are evil demons behind me. Pommeled Horse Miyin was dumbfounded. She had just been chased by a monster. She ran down the road in panic, trying to shake off the monster behind her. Unexpectedly, she bumped into someone else. It's over, it's going to harm others now. Lost in mind, Pommeled Horse Miyin stepped sideways and almost bumped into Lin Feng. Puff. The beauty is in her bosom. Lin Feng holds the daughter of the Pommeled Horse family in his arms. Unexpectedly, little Nini looks small and has a very interesting figure. It's so hot. How strong. Feeling the hot muscles under Lin Feng's clothes, Pommeled Horse Miyin's face suddenly turned red, which was the first time she had been so close to a man. Just as she was about to apologize, Miyin heard Lin Feng's teasing voice in her ear. What's going on? I can't walk anymore. After listening to Pommeled Horse Miyin, his face became redder, like a ripe red apple. Although it was very frivolous, for some reason, Miyin couldn't dislike the man in front of her, and even felt a bit comfortable in his arms, with an inexplicable sense of security. The Pommeled Horse Miyin, who was dreaming, completely forgot the pursuers behind her. When she responded, she found that the 2 evil spirits had fallen to the ground and turned into 2 headless bodies. How did they die? Pommeled Horse Miyin is dumbfounded. What happened? Suddenly, she realized that besides the demon disciple and herself, there was only the man in front of her, and it could only be his hand. But he just kept holding on to himself, right? Did you kill these demons? Pommeled Horse Miyin looked up at Lin Feng, and his big eyes fluttered with surprise and curiosity. No, they both died suddenly on their own. Lin Feng said solemnly. Pommeled Horse Miyin wanted to say how this could be possible, and then saw the smile in Lin Feng's eyes, which reflected that he was amused. You. The Pommeled Horse Miyin's face was red, and for a while he didn't know what to say. Alright, if you still want to hold on to me, I have no objection, but I'm afraid there may be some children who are not suitable for it next. Brush. Pommeled Horse Miyin just realized that he had been in Lin Feng's arms. Subconsciously, she wanted to push Lin Feng away, but the sense of security made it difficult for her to let go. I really want to keep wearing it in his arms. No girl doesn't dream of her own Prince Charming. Lin Feng is extremely handsome. Plus, he becomes the queen of encountering devils. He always exudes a mysterious aura. In addition to his powerful strength, he instantly attracts the girls. Pommeled Horse Miyin. Is it difficult? Is he the true love that Cammy arranged for me? Lin Feng patted the waist of the Pommeled Horse Miyin, chuckled. Go pick up that night gift box, it's a prop for clearing the level. The Pommeled Horse Miyin answered, walked up, picked up the purple box, opened it, and found a hammer-style buckle inside. Here you are. Pommeled Horse Miyin handed Lin Feng the buckle, but Lin Feng shook his head. I already have a buckle, you can take it. No, no, no. How can this be? I can't take such a crucial item. Pommeled Horse Miyin shook his head like a rattle. Lin Feng held down Miyin's little brain. I already have a buckle, too many straps are useless. For Lin Feng, whether it's a water gun or magnum, they are all similar. With the blessing of the power of encountering demons, there is no garbage buckle at all. For oneself, fun comes first. After Lin Feng pretended to leave, he still wanted to find Nyo before returning. Jinghe and the others were playing tricks. Miyin hesitated for a moment, then gritted her teeth and put away the Warhammer buckle. While following Lin Feng, she explained. I'll keep it for you first. If you need it, remember to come to me for it. No need, I'll send it to you. Just warm up my bed tonight. Lin Feng joked. At this point, Pommeled Horse Miyin's face turned red again, but he followed Lin Feng's footsteps without hesitation. At the same time, future people were watching the live broadcast, and after seeing Lin Feng's performance, future people's audience was discussing it one after another. This man has something. This ancient person's physical fitness is also too strong, isn't it? How could an evil demon be able to explode with just one punch? Something's wrong, this guy can't be a reformed person who sneaked back from the future, can he? Huh, this new contestant is a bit interesting. Isn't this man indulging in a game of hard to get? This combat ability is on the charts, but unfortunately the buckles I received are not very good. This player is good, he gave me a hard reward. Desire Grand Prix Lounge. Unlike the hot atmosphere in the live broadcast room, the atmosphere in the lounge is very tense at this time. Every player is determined by me, how can you change players without my consent? Grand Prix Administrator Kiroli cursed at Guide ZMLY in pain. Just now, he noticed that there was an error in the list of contestants, and one of them didn't match his preset list. When he asked, he found out that it was Cimuli who privately handed over the last gift box to someone else. This is something he cannot accept. Chapter 3. Difficulty Upgrade. Play the game with a smile. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Cimuli didn't dare to refute, lowered her head and apologized repeatedly, apologizing while saying. It was Fu Shiringsho who said that person was different from ordinary people. I thought if I could attract someone with special abilities, maybe it could make the Grand Prix look better, so. Quirrell snorted coldly. It's best for the contestant you've brought to show some performance, otherwise. After speaking, Kiroli casually swiped and opened two screens, one displaying the number of rewards given by the contestants and the other displaying real-time footage of the forest. Don't look, don't know. At first glance, I was startled. The top-ranked player in the reward far exceeded the second place, and even had more rewards than the other players combined. And this person is not yet Fu Shuringsho. Kiroli looked at it and found that the top-ranked player was the one Cimuli had brought in. Kiloliton's face turned pale and blue, but it took him a while to recover. He coughed twice and said to Cimuli, "Cimuli, I didn't expect you to have a good eye for people. Does this contestant have 2 brushes?" Cimuli was stunned for a moment, looked up inexplicably, and when she saw the ranking of the number of rewards, her red lips widened. Is he so powerful? At the same time, a hint of gratitude rose in my heart towards Lin Feng. If it weren't for his good behavior, how could Kiroli be so articulate? Cimuli secretly decided to thank this contestant well and help herself out of the sea of training next time we meet. At the same time, Fu Shuringsho, like Lin Feng, was attacked by evil demons. However, as a multi-weekly contestant, Shou naturally has no problem dealing with these ordinary demons, although it's not like Lin Feng crushing it directly with force, it's still quite handy and easy to win. The most matching match with the Jinghe ID is Magnum Buckle, with a meaningful expectation. Fu Shuringsho opened the night gift box in front of him, only to find an ordinary meteor hammer buckle inside. Fu Shuringsho's eyes couldn't help but flash with disappointment. On the other hand, Dao Chang, the wife of the Grey Fighter, was also on a fleshy grass monster. His movements were more open and closed than those of Fu Shuringsho, and he was a bit less neat than Lin Feng. After successfully defeating the evil demon in front of him, the Taoist received the night gift box. He had a premonition that the zombie buckle that best suited him was among them. Brush. The night gift box was opened, and as expected, there was a purple zombie buckle lying inside. The metallic touch brought a familiar sense of kinship, and my wife's Taoist eyes flashed with resilience. The champion of this Grand Prix must be mine. Ah. It's so scary. Screams came, and the Taoist turned his head to see an ordinary-looking office worker running away, with only one demon chasing after him. My wife, the Taoist priest, silently watched. Even though the evil demon was carrying a night gift box, there was no intention of coming forward to help. Because the zombie buckle was exclusive to him, he had already obtained it and had nothing more to ask for. Be careful. Jinghe was frantically running away when suddenly a warning sound came from behind a nearby tree. Before Jinghe could react, he was pulled behind the tree with one hand. The demon chasing after him stumbled on the ground after taking a few steps forward, and the demon's gift box immediately fell out. The man who grabbed Jinghe quickly stepped forward to pick up the night gift box, and then left with Jinghe. After arriving at a safe place, the two realized that the other person was actually someone they knew. "Aren't you Mr. Ping who interviewed me? Are you also here to participate in the Grand Prix?" Ping Shaoran took a long breath and nodded, saying, "Yeah, I didn't expect to meet you here." Seeing Jinghe empty-handed, Ping Xiaoran couldn't bear it and pulled Jinghe back to the trap just now. He used the same trick and obtained the second night gift box. The two of them opened the box at the same time, and Jinghe seemed to be favored by a goddess of luck, winning a big prize. An engine buckle. As for what Ping Shaoran received, it was known as a special-level curse item. A bow and arrow buckle. After successfully obtaining the buckle for the first round of game clearance, the two of them relaxed and sat by the river to rest. "Senior Ping, how did you come back to participate in the Desire Grand Prix?" Ping Shaoran did not conceal and revealed the fact that his son was ill. "This may be the only way I can save my son, so I must become the god of desire." Retrieving his gaze from the reward ranking, Kiroli turned his head to the reel. Time screen. Upon discovering that Fu Shuringsho had a poor start and only received a regular buckle, Kiroli frowned and then stretched out again, muttering to himself. "Fu Shuringsho, you have won the Desire Grand Prix Championship several times in a row. If this continues, the audience will get tired of it. The person who replaced you has already appeared, so you should eliminate it well in this round." Quirrell, who had secretly decided in her heart, went to the bar, picked up the old rotary phone on the table, and dialed. Duda the phone was quickly answered, and Kiroli said to the person on the other end as if giving an order. Archimedal, add another leader of the demon cult, I want to eliminate Usuji Aishu in this round. Lin Feng searched around the forest, but couldn't find the polar fox and the ox, not even the civet cat. Lin Feng, who felt bored, was about to find a place to rest for a while when suddenly, a voice from Cimuli came to his ear. Players, the powerful thief and demon leader has arrived at the upper reaches of the river, intending to massacre the Cayman Knight as revenge for the demon disciples. Defeating it will liberate this demon realm. Let's go. That is to say, defeating the leader of the thieves and demons will end this round of the game. After hearing the news, the contestants who received the buckle rushed upstream to the river. In their opinion, defeating the leader is definitely a reward, right? Lin Feng, however, didn't care about these things. His face remained calm and he walked upstream of the river at his original speed, neither fast nor slow. Upon seeing this, the little attendant Miyin curiously asked. Mr. Lin, if we go slower, the boss may be taken by someone else. Miyin has self-awareness, it would be great if she could get a buckle and advance to the next round of the game. She wouldn't even dare to think about anything like a boss. But in her opinion, Lin Feng must have the strength to defeat the boss. She couldn't understand why Lin Feng didn't seem anxious at all. The evil devils he encountered along the way could not withstand a single move under his command, only to be instantly killed. Is he not afraid that the boss reward will be obtained by others? Lin Feng smiled and said. Boss rewards. Stronger buckles. Better equipment. None of these make sense to me. For you, participating in games is to win, but for me, winning is the most boring and effortless thing, it's really devoid of fun. The most important thing in games is to play with a smile. Miyin is dumbfounded. Is it something that is not difficult? Is it easy for you to become the god of desire? This is too confident. If another person said that, Pommeled Horse Miyin would feel that the other person was bragging, but somehow, Lin Feng said this, she did not feel at all at odds, even thought it should be so. Chapter 5. Water Gun Buckle. You're loading a hammer. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Faced with Kiroli's questioning, Archimedal did not refute and smiled, saying. The Desire Grand Prix is becoming increasingly boring. Every time, it's the demonic disciples defeated by the Cayman Riders. Occasionally, there's a group of demonic disciples to defeat the Cayman Riders. Isn't it quite effective for the show? And if you kill Fushuringsho, you will never see him again. Isn't that your goal, ha ha ha. Click. The phone was hung up. Kiroli took a deep breath and finally understood that Archimedal was taking advantage of the situation to vent his anger on his child, to annihilate this generation of Cayman Riders, and finally let himself bear the blame. Despite feeling resentful, Kiroli had no choice but to take Archimedal and also had no choice but to deal with the current situation. Once the competition opens, the administrator can only influence the game in secret and cannot personally exit. This is an ironclad rule. Even if the Cayman Rider is defeated by the team, he cannot end up. Damn it. Kiroli rarely lost his composure and punched the table, watching the masked knights surrounded by demons and under the watchful gaze of the leader of the thief demons. He silently muttered to himself, damn it. After completing the encirclement, the leaders of the two thieves and demons were not in a hurry to take action. They stood on the side, their gaze constantly scanning the Cayman Riders in the field, but in the end they all fell on Jinghe. The encirclement gradually shrank, and there were a total of 6 Cayman Riders in the field, including Jinghe, Baonyo, Maoxiong, Civet, Penguin, and Liang. There are dozens of demon disciples in the enclosure, and there are also 2 boss-level leaders next to them. The significant gap in strength is evident. That's it, isn't it difficult to die here? Jinghe let out a desperate murmur, afraid of death and even more afraid of not seeing his sister in the future. He was afraid that his sister would be sad, and the more he thought about it, the more he felt sad. Son. Dad is sorry for you. The filial piety person beside him was silently shedding tears, and his heart was bleeding at the thought of never seeing his son again. A high school student named Mao Xiong, wearing magnum buckle, angrily shouted. What's the use of crying? Find a way to fight. As everyone was about to argue, Fu Shirengsho suddenly spoke up. I have a solution. The remaining 5 people turned their heads to look at him. Fu Shirengsho's gaze fell on the cat bear and the civet cat, and he said. The first target of these 2 leaders' demonic disciples is me. You give me the magnum buckle and engine buckle, and I will burst into maximum speed to break through the encirclement. At that time, the 2 leaders will chase me as soon as possible, and your pressure will be much less. Just follow the brake and leave. What Fu Shirengsho didn't say was that with the engine and magnum's words, he had the confidence to defeat the 2 bandit leaders and pass the level smoothly. The method of Fu Shirengsho was a good one, but as soon as he finished speaking, it drew ridicule from the cat bear. You treat us like fools. I gave you the buckle, so what should I do? Who knows if what you said is true or false? If the 2 leaders don't pursue you, what should we do? Jinghe's attitude was the opposite. He chose to believe in Fu Shirengsho, gritted his teeth, and directly took off the engine belt buckle, handing it over to Yingsho. I don't know how to fight, I'll leave it to you to use. The cat and bear sneered at the situation. A fool. He would never give the buckle he got to a stranger. Even if it's death. Fu Shirengsho had no choice but to give the 2 buckles in his hand to Jinghe in exchange for his engine buckle. Without magnum, it's not impossible to operate, it's just a bit troublesome. As a reward for exchanging buckles, he whispered to Jinghe. Besides my strongest one here is Bull, I will lead the 2 leaders away later. You don't have to worry about me. Follow Bull to break through, you know. Without waiting for Jinghe to speak, the surrounding demon disciples seemed unable to resist and finally launched a total attack. Boom boom. The chaotic footsteps rang out, and the demonic disciples quickly shrank their encirclement, rushing towards the 6 Kamen riders like a wave. Go ahead. Kill their group. Will the Kamen rider be defeated again? This scene is very rare. Go up. Demon disciples. Haha, what an interesting scene. The villain is about to win. Don't, my fleeting life. Poor bully, he hasn't won a championship yet, is he going to die here? In the lively discussion among the audience in the live broadcast room, the Kamen riders were shocked to pieces. Jinghe was knocked out and dizzy. Just as he was about to search for the figure of the bull, he saw Jihu's firepower fully unleash, breaking through the encirclement of the demon disciples and the 2 bandit leaders, and rushing out. He succeeded. Jinghe breathed a sigh of relief and quickly followed Fu Shirengsho's instructions to find Baonyo. But just then, a scream came from behind Jinghe. Jinghe turned around and saw that Senior Ping had been knocked to the ground by an evil demon. In just a few seconds, he lifted his transformation and was covered in scars before turning red and disappearing. No. Senior Ping. Jinghe shouted out loud, he didn't expect Senior Ping to die in front of him like this. Despair lingered in Jinghe's heart, and he finally saw the bully. However, even the bully was surrounded by evil disciples. He was like a fighter in an arena, rushing forward in anger, but struggling to move forward. Done, it's all over, we are all going to die here. Despair is boiling, expanding, until it fills the mind and body of Jinghe. At the same time, Jihu, who had successfully broken through, was about to leave with the leading thief leader when he unexpectedly saw 2 people pacing forward. It's Lin Feng and Miyin. The original target of the thief leader was the extreme fox, but Lin Feng's gaze made them feel the threat of life. Driven by instinct, they all gave up the extreme fox and attacked Lin Feng several meters away. Ah! Be careful. Seeing this, Miyin exclaimed in surprise and instinctively loaded the warhammer in her hand onto the driver, wanting to transform and protect Lin Feng. The next second, the two evil demons who were already within reach suddenly flew backwards and fell heavily to the ground. It's so interesting that you dare to show your killing intent on me. The speaker was naturally Lin Feng, his gaze indifferent. With a casual wave, he bounced the two bandit leaders out. The so-called leader, in his view, is just a large miscellaneous fish. This scene stunned the extreme fox beside him, his eyes filled with suspicion. Miyin, please step back. I don't need you to protect me yet. Miyin's tense body finally came down and stuck out her tongue at Lin Feng, saying, I'm worried about you, isn't it? Seeing this, Li Yang in the distance shouted loudly, help. I'm about to be stepped on and transformed. Please come and help me. The teddy bear remained silent, but seeing Lin Feng's confident expression ignited hope in his heart. Jinghe was the same, seeing Lin Feng bouncing off two evil demons, he seemed to see the possibility of turning defeat into victory. Set. Under the hopeful gaze, Lin Feng took out the core ID with an animal avatar printed on it and placed it into the desired drive. Then, Lin Feng took out the water gun buckle. The atmosphere in the field seemed to suddenly stagnate, and Banyo couldn't help but roar. Water gun buckle. Are you joking? The extreme fox took a deep breath and closed its eyes. It seems that we can only stop here. The cat and bear were carrying the siege of the demons while cursing loudly. Are you a fool? Holding a water gun with a buckle while loading Nima. Li Yang is even more concise. Grass. The hope that only ignited in everyone's eyes extinguished once again with the appearance of the water gun buckle. Miyin, who was following behind Lin Feng, stood up with a displeased expression and said. What's wrong with the water gun buckle? Feng Gu is really amazing. No matter how powerful, we cannot ignore the difference in enemy numbers or equipment strength. This sentence was not spoken by Fu Shiringsho. Lin Feng recorded everyone's reaction and smiled. Yeah, what's wrong with the water gun buckle? This buckle is very strong. Chapter 6. The Price of Offending the King. First Transformation. You are listening at novelfull.audio. For some reason, even though Lin Feng was smiling, Mao Xiong and Li Yang looked at him and felt a hint of disdain in their smile. Especially with that gaze, it feels like the towering dragon looks down on the ants on the ground. Indifference. Gloomy. Cruel and spicy. No, no. That's just a water gun buckle, my magnum is even stronger than him. The bear shook its head, but the next second, he felt as if an invisible pressure was falling on his head, covering his shoulders and body. Bang! The cat and bear, who were originally struggling to support themselves, were shaken in their hearts and minds. Under heavy pressure, he instantly fell to the ground like a lost dog, facing Lin Feng in the right direction. To others, it looks like a teddy bear throwing a big bow at Lin Feng. Not only the teddy bear, but also the nearby Li Yang felt the heavy pressure and, like the teddy bear, was giving Lin Feng a big bow. Damn it! What's going on here? As soon as Li Yang finished speaking, he felt a tremendous force coming from his neck, as if a pair of pliers were pinching his neck. The invisible power made it difficult for Li Yang to breathe, his brain began to lack oxygen, and his face under the mask turned red, as if his head was about to explode in the next second. As he was about to faint, the immense force around his neck disappeared, and Li Yang was sweating profusely, both physically and mentally frightened. What's going on with this force? The thunder sheep was like a frightened bird, frightened and trembling with fear. Suddenly, he instinctively looked up and saw Lin Feng, who was surrounded by a faint smile, shifting his gaze away. Thinking of the scene where two thieves and demons were bounced off just now, Li Yang suddenly understood that it was him, it was Lin Feng's hand. But even though I don't know him, I haven't. Angry Li Yang was about to curse out loud, but suddenly realized the reason why Lin Feng had taken action against him. It's because I just scolded him. Just now, the panda also scolded him. Isn't that the panda too? Li Yang trembled all over, turned his head to look at the bear, and found that he was even more miserable than himself. He had already lifted his transformation, his face turned red, his eyes turned white, and he was still suffering from torture. Seeing this, Li Yang was even more certain that it was Lin Feng's hand. Although he was not angry in his heart, he didn't dare to curse anymore. He didn't even dare to look up at Lin Feng. The suffocating feeling just now was too scary, and he didn't want to experience it again. In fact, Li Yang should feel fortunate. If it weren't for Lin Feng's good mood at the moment, he and the panda would have been a pile of broken meat long ago. Disrespecting the king will come at a cost. Jinghe didn't know what was happening on the Maoxiong and Li Yang. At this moment, he was looking at Lin Feng with a puzzled expression on his face. Is the water gun buckle very strong? No matter how you look at it, zombie buckles, magnum buckles, and engine buckles are even stronger. Mr. Jinghe also said the same. What else can I do with a water gun belt after deducting water spray? Jinghe became more and more desperate as he thought about it. He was afraid of death and also afraid that he would never see his sister again, so he couldn't help but feel sad. Dad, Mom, I'm going to see you guys. Jinghe couldn't hold on anymore. He was knocked down by the demon, and the pain spread to every part of his body. His big feet kept stepping on him, leaving him covered in bruises and exhausted both physically and mentally. Jinghe finally gave up resistance and tilted his head, just in time to see Lin Feng continue to transform. I saw Lin Feng put the ordinary water gun buckle into the desired drive, which should have been started directly, and completed the buckle loading. A stunning scene immediately appeared, with strands of dark golden light emerging and lingering on Lin Feng's body. Against the backdrop of the dark golden light, Lin Feng was not like a newcomer knight who had just received the drive, but more like a war god who had returned as a king. The mysterious aura and terrifying aura made some evil disciples who wanted to come forward and drive them away stop, even retreating in succession, as if they had sensed something terrible. Jinghe was dumbfounded on the spot, his eyes wide and round. What are these rays of light? The bully who was breaking through was taken aback, with doubts and confusion in his eyes. What is this? He can be considered a multi-eyed player second only to Jinghe, and can be considered knowledgeable. He knows DGP very well, but at least he has a deep understanding of Kamen Rider and buckle. He has used the water gun buckle before, but when he uses it, there is no hidden golden light added. Just now, Lin Feng scared the cat bear and Li Yang who were cursing loudly at him. They all closed their mouths. Although Lin Feng had not yet completed the transformation, they could both see that something was wrong with the transformation. No, it's really not right. What's going on with that dark golden glow? Even the leaders of the two thieves and demons were stunned and dared not step forward for a moment. Looking at the dark golden light, and at Lin Feng with the added golden light, Fu Shingshu smiled with relief and muttered to himself. My intuition is right, I knew you were definitely not an ordinary person. Under the gaze of one eye after another, Lin Feng waved casually, and the dark golden light that spread throughout his body suddenly stopped, injecting into his core ID one after another. The core ID of the animal avatar has undergone an inexplicable change, becoming a knight avatar with a clockwise minute needle horn and red compound eyes printed on its head. No one knows, this avatar represents the king of encountering demons. Lin Feng thought to himself that directly transforming into the king of encountering demons was too high profile and would scare these knights. It wouldn't be fun anymore, so he infused the power of encountering demons into his core ID and replaced the crown prince with the civet cat. Moreover, if you use the so-called garbage buckle to unleash your powerful abilities and defeat the boss, their expressions will definitely be fun. With this wicked taste, Lin Feng curled his lips and gently flicked the switch of the water gun buckle. While the water gun buckle is activated, the power of encountering demons flows out from the core ID, covering it with a layer of dark gold and adding a special dark gold pattern. Not only that, in the gaps between the dark gold patterns, there are layers of blue scale-like patterns, which are dragon scale patterns. The greatly transformed water gun buckle doesn't look like a regular buckle, but more like a top-level buckle that surpasses engines, magnum, and zombies, exuding a strong sense of mystery. Looking at the brand new water gun buckle, Lin Feng muttered to himself. Calling you a water gun buckle is no longer appropriate, then call it the Supreme Water Tap Buckle. As he spoke, Lin Feng raised his hand, reached forward, and snapped his fingers, henshin. Brush. The Supreme Faucet buckle turned, and blue water ripples flowed out from it. The dark golden pattern emitted a brilliant golden light. Under the reflection of the blue and gold light, Lin Feng rose out of nowhere, and a faucet appeared beside him, sheltering his transformation. Water Dragon. Ready. Fight. How handsome. Looking at Lin Feng standing in the air, protected by the water, and the pommeled horse Miyin beside him, he was amazed and dazzled. She understood why Lin Feng couldn't look at the buckle in her hand. Like everyone else's transformation, a mechanical device appeared behind Lin Feng. The mechanical arm held a pair of blue chest protectors and fastened them onto Lin Feng's body. Unlike others, when the blue breast protector was loaded, the water hose wrapped around Lin Feng collided with it and fused with it. Chapter 7. Supreme Water King with Buckle. Are you cheating? You are listening at Novel Full.audio. In an instant, a shockwave like water vapor burst out in front of Lin Feng, blowing down the demon disciples in front of him. I saw on the originally simple water gun chest protector, the scale pattern of the water faucet appeared, contrasting with the dark gold pattern, giving people a sense of mystery that cannot be underestimated. Seeing Lin Feng after completing his transformation, Jinghe was dumbfounded. Is this really a water gun with a buckle? The bully on the other side was also stunned in the same place, even though they were all water guns with buckles. Why is the difference so big when using them? Is it possible that the water gun buckle I used to use is fake? Is this the real water gun buckle? But what they didn't know was that after seeing Lin Feng's transformation, Kiroli and Cimuli in the lounge were also shocked beyond measure. Looking at Kiroli, who was stunned and even speechless on the side, Cimuli felt a bit proud. Look, this is the person I have chosen, how amazing. And the future people in the live broadcast room were all boiling when they saw the scene of Lin Feng transforming. Can this also be reversed? Go ahead, Lin Feng. Crush them. Ah. The ultimate faucet buckle. It's a bit handsome. The water attribute is a great victory, and this buckle looks quite strong. Not bad, not bad. The buckle has finally undergone a new change. How about upgrading other buckles as well? It seems like they're all those buckles, a bit tired. What's the origin of this new player? He looks like he's going to crush the whole field. I always feel that this athlete named Lin Feng is extraordinary. Shouldn't he have caused the buckle to evolve? Is it difficult? The invincible General Fu is going to retreat from the environment. Looking at the future of live streaming, everyone has expectations in their eyes, hoping for Lin Feng's action in the actual performance of the Supreme Faucet buckle. Jinghe and others on site put aside their previous contempt and regarded Lin Feng as a hero and savior. It all depends on this man whether he can survive or break free from the siege of evil disciples. However, Lin Feng naturally did not disappoint the audience or the masked knights present. He held a water gun alone, with the muzzle aimed at the demonic disciples in front of him, and whispered. Miscellaneous fish should have the consciousness of miscellaneous fish. A cold voice, but with boundless killing intent. After speaking, Lin Feng pulled the trigger of the water gun. Poo-poo tong. With a soft sound, a water ball was shot from the muzzle. The water ball is as high as Lin Feng, floating in the air and spinning slowly, seemingly without any danger. The next second, the water ball absorbs moisture from the air and begins to expand violently. When the water ball expands to its limit, it suddenly collapses inward, unleashing terrifying energy. The exploding water balls burst out water droplets the size of soybeans, and the speed of the raindrops was comparable to bullets. Even the air was pierced, and they shot towards the demonic disciples with the sound of breaking through the air. Although it's just water droplets, it's as terrifying as a barrage of bullets. Shoo, shoo. The demonic disciples standing in the first row were like dominoes, told that water droplets pierced and knocked down, with finger-sized wounds all over their bodies, and they died on the spot. When the sound of breaking through the air sounded, the knights all reacted and squatted down, afraid of being affected by Lin Feng's attack. People like Li Yang, who were afraid of death, even lay on the ground. Although it's embarrassing, at least it's safe, isn't it? What terrifying killing power. Li Yang secretly swallowed a mouthful of saliva, and his fear of Lin Feng became even greater. The high school student Mao Xiong, who had escaped the disaster, looked at Lin Feng and thought to himself, feeling relieved. I looked around, I didn't expect that water gun buckle to be so strong. After being tormented by Lin Feng, he seemed to have given up, but in reality, he wanted to find an opportunity to seek revenge. It's just a few vulgar words, and I'll be tormented. The arrogant high school student can't swallow this. The naive rookie knight thought that the stronger one was the water gun buckle, but he didn't know that the stronger one was not the buckle, but the person who used the buckle. Looking at him, the demonic disciples beside him were like wheat being pierced, torn apart, and then falling one after another. Jinghe's eyes were filled with shock, and a hint of fear rose in his heart. If he were hit by these water droplets, he would also be crushed into a sieve like the demonic disciples, right? The bully and extreme fox who know the truth are both numb. Is this really a water gun with a buckle? What are you joking about? Although I don't understand why the water gun buckle is so exaggerated, it's a good thing, at least they were saved. The dead end has finally been broken. After the energy of the water ball was depleted, at least half of the demon disciples died, and the ground was covered with corpses, some torn in half by water droplets, some beaten into sieves, and some even had their heads knocked out. Such destructive power is considered terrifying to other knights. The audience in the live broadcast room was extremely excited when they saw the scene of the demon being instantly killed. That's what I want to see. How fierce. The destructive power of this faucet buckle is also too extraordinary. It's truly a new buckle, its power is truly extraordinary. Lin Feng is too domineering, I will give him money hard. The intensity is full, this Desire Grand Prix is really beautiful. The Desire Grand Prix is finally no longer a uniform competition. I am optimistic that Lin Feng will win this year. Is Jinghe going to retreat from the environment? Currently, it seems that the multi-week champion Fu Shiring is not a match for Lin Feng at all. Pommeled Horse Miyin was shocked by the scene in front of him, covered his mouth and exclaimed. Almost half of the demon disciples are dead now. Brother Feng is so powerful. Is it powerful? I don't think it's very good. Lin Feng's voice came from under the mask, with a hint of disappointment. No, it's not very good. Killed dozens of evil demons with just one strike, isn't that too good? Your requirements are too high, right? The Pommeled Horse Miyin was a little confused, and other knights were stunned. The excited audience of future people were also scared. As an ordinary knight, killing dozens of minions with just one strike is naturally a source of pride. However, as the king of encountering demons, not being able to kill all the minions and their leaders with just one strike would damage the king's dignity. Strange, not all these miscellaneous fish were killed in a flash. Has it been the subsequent enhancement of these demonic disciples? What Lin Feng didn't know was that even if they looked the same type of demon, there were differences in strength. The demons he had encountered before were the weakest group of demons, competing against physical players, while the additional demons he added later were competing against transformed night players, so their strength naturally varied. This also led to a calculation error, failing to quickly kill all the miscellaneous fish in front of him. But it doesn't matter, if one attempt doesn't work, then let's do it again. Miyin, have you ever seen a dragon? Lin Feng smiled and raised his water gun high, aiming the muzzle at the sky. When he pulled the trigger, a blue beam of light mixed with dark golden light suddenly shot out of the muzzle, heading straight into the sky. Chapter 8. Dimension Reduction Strike. A true dragon probing its head from the clouds. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Miyin blinked and the image of a western dragon came to her mind. You mean the kind of dragon with 2 big wings, short hands and feet, and the ability to breathe fire? Lin Feng shook his head. No, that's not a real dragon. A real dragon isn't that spicy. As he spoke, Lin Feng's eyes showed a hint of nostalgia, thinking of his hometown before 2 travels. Seeing Lin Feng looking up at the sky, and the topic he just mentioned, Pommeled Horse, Miyin felt a flutter. Does Lord Lin Feng want to summon a dragon? This bold idea made Miyin raise her neck and raise expectations in her heart. As Lin Feng's words fell, the originally clear skies suddenly darkened. Boom boom. Dark clouds replaced white clouds, covering the entire sky. The dark clouds cover the top, as if the next second is about to come down and cover the entire land, making the air filled with a sense of oppression. What is this? Jinghe squinted his eyes slightly, and he vaguely felt that something seemed to be hidden in the dark clouds. Is this what he made? Uncle Liang glanced at the pitch-black sky and then at Lin Feng, feeling even more frightened in his heart. Unlike Li Yang's reaction, the cat bear became even more eager for the buckle on Lin Feng's waist. If I could get this buckle, maybe I could. Taking advantage of the evil demon disciple standing in place, Banyo took the opportunity to break out and looked at Lin Feng with a scrutinizing expression in his eyes. Another competitor that needs to be wary of. Jinghe's mood was as grand as riding a roller coaster. He was already a bit numb, but when he saw the dark clouds in the sky, a little wave rose again. Boom! Suddenly, a flash of light lit up in the dark clouds, and it was a deep blue lightning that cut through the sky. The extreme fox was looking at the sky, and against the backdrop of lightning, he saw a winding shadow in the dark clouds, as if swimming in the clouds. Before he could figure out what it was, he saw more and more lightning in the dark clouds, becoming denser and deafening with the sound of thunder. Boom boom. The thunder that could almost shatter the eardrums exploded, and this time everyone saw something in the dark clouds. It had a snake-like body, winding and slender, as if dwelling and swimming in the clouds. Under the astonished gaze, the mysterious object in the clouds finally appeared. A huge head peeked out of the clouds and caught everyone's eye. Horn like deer, head like camel, eyes like rabbit, neck like snake, belly like mirage, scales like fish, claws like eagle, palms like tiger, ears like cow. This is the true dragon form from the east. What is this? Nanny. What happened? Miracle, this is a miracle. What did I see? A mysterious creature peeking out from the clouds. Dragon. I have read the records of future people, this is the dragon of the east. Such a beautiful creature. Surprisingly, this game really surprised me. Is it difficult? Is this Lin Feng's handwriting? It must be Lin Feng who did it. He said his buckle was the supreme water tap buckle, and that must be the water tap he summoned. Future People's live broadcast room was full of discussions, and they were all startled by the Eastern water tap summoned by Lin Feng. In the past Desire Grand Prix, they had never seen such a thing. The knights on site felt even more shocked than the future people, because they had seen it with their own eyes. Under the gaze of the dragon, even the most calm fox felt its own insignificance. Miyin's eyes were blurred, and she murmured. So. This is the real dragon. Under the gaze of shock, terror, and shock, the dragon in the clouds moved. The mouth with water marks opened, and the air flowed back into the belly of the supreme faucet, then boom. A jet of water gushed out from that dark, black hole-like throat, shooting towards the ground like a water-blue laser, towards the remaining demons and the bold leaders attempting to kill Lin Feng at both ends. Desire Grand Prix Athlete Lounge. Brush. Kiroli stood up and looked at the huge object on the live broadcast screen, and at the laser beam that was over 10 meters wide. Kiroli was dumbfounded. After becoming a game administrator, he witnessed countless sessions of the Desire Grand Prix and the realization of countless wishes. His vision far exceeded that of all ancient and even future people. Even so, he was still shocked by the scene before him. What kind of creature is this? How was this done? Beside her, Cimuli widened her big eyes, covered her small mouth, and looked shocked with a hint of cuteness. Jinghe is not wrong, he is really special. Lin Feng is definitely not an ordinary person. Summoning a water faucet is not something that ordinary knights can do. Ha! Before recovering from the shock, Cimuli suddenly frowned and let out a scream of surprise. Because she saw that she couldn't directly penetrate the ground with the water jet, but was blocked in mid-air. That is a light-colored barrier, like an inverted bowl, covering this land. Seeing this, Lin Feng was stunned for a moment, then realized that this was a barrier in the realm of evil demons. However, can a mere domain barrier withstand the power of encountering demons? Impossible. Lin Feng has once again increased the output of the demon encountering power fly, from 3% to 5%. Kaka, looking at the small cracks that appeared, my wife Daochang's eyes were filled with deep shock. Surprisingly, even the barrier in the realm of evil demons cannot be withstood. This guy. The cracks on the barrier are getting bigger, more, and more dense, as if they will shatter the next second. And at this moment, the two thieves and demons finally came to their senses. Although they have average intelligence, they feel very sensitive. They sense a strong chill enveloping themselves, and the source of this chill is the giant dragon outside the barrier. If the barrier is broken, then you will definitely die. Driven by instinct, in the moment when they regained their senses, the two leaders of the thieves and demons made the most correct response. That's Lin Feng, the summoner who killed the dragon. At this moment, Lin Feng was looking up at the giant dragon, seemingly ignoring the hidden threats around him. For demons, this seems like an excellent assassination opportunity. At the same time, the leader of the bandit and demonic cult, with two large and ferocious figures on both ends, lowered his shoulders, restrained his abdomen, and swung his big sword with all his might. Two thief knives burst out with a cold glow, the gray light condensed into a line and then transformed into a crescent moon blade light. Two hanging knife lights, one horizontal and one vertical, intertwined into a cross-shaped knife light, slashing towards Lin Feng like an arrow leaving a string, emitting a sharp sound of breaking through the air. The cat bear was the first to see the leader of the evil cult take action, but he did not choose to remind Lin Feng, who had a malicious heart. Instead, he watched quietly without saying a word. He thought to himself that nearly half of the evil demons present had been exterminated, and they no longer posed a threat to their own safety. It would be best if Lin Feng died at this time. So he can go grab the faucet buckle. Chapter 9. The Awakening of Miscellaneous Fish. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The second person to see the leader of the evil cult take action was Li Yang, who had the same experience as the panda and naturally chose to shut up. He dare not retaliate against Lin Feng, but that doesn't mean he has no hatred towards Lin Feng. The third one to see the leader of the demon cult take action is Bull. Although he has no relationship with Lin Feng, in Bull's eyes, all the Cayman riders are his opponents. It would be a good thing for him to effortlessly eliminate a powerful opponent. So, like the previous two, the Taoist did not remind Lin Feng. It wasn't until Jinghe saw a cross-knife light in the air that someone finally reminded Lin Feng. Be careful. When Jinghe spoke, it was already late, and the speed of sound propagation was far behind that of the knife light. When the sound reached Lin Feng's ear, the crossed knife light had already arrived behind him and was about to fall. It's over. Jinghe widened his eyes, hating himself for discovering it too late. If he could have seen it earlier, maybe he could have. The next second, a shocking scene appeared that shocked everyone. Bang! I saw Lin Feng turning back lightly, his empty left hand lightly waving, and the grey cross blade light seemed to be wiped away by an eraser, disappearing out of thin air. The eerie scene left everyone stunned. Lin Feng glanced at the leader of the thief and evil demon, who was also stunned in the same place, and said calmly, "What caused you to have the illusion of being able to assassinate me? Mischievous fish should have the consciousness of mischievous fish." After speaking, Lin Feng didn't do anything and just withdrew his gaze. Is Lin Feng really not doing anything? Of course not. Just as he withdrew his gaze, an invisible and intangible gravity fell on the two leaders of the demonic disciples, pinning them in place. Just stand obediently in place and wait for the protagonist to kill the miscellaneous fish. Lin Feng thought to himself. At this moment, a roar came from above. Lin Feng looked up again and saw that the barrier of the demonic disciples was finally unstoppable, being broken by the rushing water of the faucet. The light-colored barrier turned into speckled starlight, and the cracks quickly spread. In the blink of an eye, the entire barrier of the demon disciple collapsed with a loud bang. This time Jinghe reacted the fastest, watching the rapids falling from the top of his head and shouting loudly. "Run quickly. Attacks like this range are indiscriminate between the enemy and us." Other knights also reacted, except for Bull and Fox, who calmly retreated. The others almost rolled around and fled, feeling very embarrassed. Of course, Lin Feng and Pommeled Horse Miyin are not included. "Come here." Lin Feng waved to Miyin. Miyin, who originally wanted to escape, trembled and walked towards Lin Feng, blushing as she threw herself into his arms. Lin Feng. Lin Feng originally intended to ask her to come behind him, but he never expected Miyin to be so proactive. "So let's make the right move." Raising his hand to embrace Miyin's waist, Lin Feng joked. "I didn't expect that the daughter of Pommeled Horse group looks shy, but actually she is so open." "No. I'm not." Pommeled Horse Miyin was afraid that Lin Feng would misunderstand him, so she quickly looked up and explained. After seeing the smile in Lin Feng's eyes, she reflected that she was amused again. "Disgusting." As the two spoke, a laser-like water blue torrent plunged straight into the earth, bombarding the remaining demonic disciples and the two thieves and demonic leaders who were held up by Lin Feng. The slowest running Liang was almost affected and was startled into a cold sweat. Boom! Like a waterfall shooting down from 1,000 miles high, the moment the giant dragon's rapids hit the ground, the entire earth was shaking, as if an earthquake had struck. The impact of the rapids on the ground raised a large amount of water vapor and white mist, and the entire forest was instantly shrouded in white mist, leaving only the hanging dragon waterfall connecting the earth and the sky. This scene may seem so beautiful and shocking to future generations, but only those present can feel that beneath this beauty lies a terrifying killing power. Surprisingly, even the barrier of evil demons has been broken. This is too exaggerated. Terrifying. Terrifying. Shocking. This blow is really amazing. It's not an exaggeration to call it a miracle. This is the most exciting boss battle I've ever seen in so many editions of the Desire Grand Prix. Don't stop me, I want to give Lin Feng a hard fight. Don't compete with me, I want to be Lin Feng's top scorer. What a wonderful kill, what a beautiful dragon, Lin Feng, you have brought me so many surprises. I declare that Lin Feng has surpassed Yukiyoshi Aishu and become the only favorite to win this year's Desire Grand Prix. Thank you, Lin Feng, for showing me such a beautiful sky dragon. Future people are amazed, shocked by us, and without a doubt, their focus of discussion is only one, and that is Lin Feng. Due to the overwhelming impact of this scene, it attracted the attention of both the residents and everyone outside the venue. In addition, a large expanse of white mist covered it, causing no one to notice that the faint starlight from the shattered barrier of the demonic disciples flew towards Lin Feng, landing on his special demon encountering King ID and being absorbed by him. Even Lin Feng didn't expect it to unfold like this. After the little star light entered the core ID, it intertwined, blended with the power of encountering demons in the ID. After a moment of effort, all the light-colored star light power was absorbed by the power of encountering demons. Under the catalysis of the star light, some of the power of encountering demons underwent unexpected qualitative changes, becoming more pure, terrifying, and containing even more terrifying power. Lin Feng's face showed a surprised expression for the first time, and this result was completely beyond his expectations. He originally intended to participate in the DGP Grand Prix to play, but he never expected to have an unexpected game. The so-called Barrier of Demons is actually part of the DGP Desire Grand Prix arrangement, and the foundation of the Desire Grand Prix is the goddess's creative power. That is to say, the power that makes up the barrier is essentially the power of creation. Does this mean that the power of creation and the power of encountering demons are complementary? It seems that I underestimated the power of creation. Although this power may not be as comprehensive as the power of encountering demons that transcends time and space, it is not much worse. Yes, after all, this power can fulfill wishes, create things out of thin air, and even resurrect dead people. It must not be underestimated. Lin Feng was lost in thought. If his guess was true, then it would be interesting. Anyway, participating in the Desire Grand Prix this time has brought Lin Feng unexpected gains. He feels that this trip is worth it. In the blink of an eye, the dragon falls disappeared, and the resting dragon shrank back into the dark clouds, dissipating with the dissipation of the clouds. The sky, which had been covered by dark clouds the previous second, quickly returned to a blue sky in white clouds in the blink of an eye. It is difficult to imagine if it is not witnessed with one's own eyes. And the creator of all of this turned out to be a seemingly ordinary man. This is even more unbelievable. Chapter 11. The game is over. Return to this world. You are listening at novelfull.audio. My wife Dao Chang shook her head and sneered at Jinghe's speech. Naive. Fu Shiringsho also followed suit and said. This is the game rules. On the other side, sitting in the furthest corner of the sofa, Li Yang, who was far away from Lin Feng, muttered. I knew there wasn't such a good thing, as long as I became the champion, I could fulfill any wish. It turns out that I had to take the life of the contestant to fill it in. The expression of a high school student's teddy bear is indifferent. Death only indicates that their skills are inferior to humans. Jinghe was both angry and puzzled by the indifference of his teammates, shouting loudly. How could you think that? Those are living lives one by one. Although we don't know each other, we have fought side by side and watched our fellow countrymen die in front of us. Are you so indifferent? The problem with this competition is too big. How could we set up such a dangerous game? The scene of the proliferation of the Virgin Heart and the righteous condemnation of the Desire Grand Prix, which regards the lives of athletes as worthless. Upon hearing this, Lin Feng, who was resting on the side, couldn't help but look at Jinghe and casually said. If you can't accept it, you can choose to withdraw from the competition. No one is forcing you to participate. To gain the greatest benefits, one must bear the greatest risks. This is how the world operates. Only children are so greedy when they don't want to take any risks and want to fulfill their wishes and shape their ideal world. Lin Feng thought of himself. In the previous world, he also had a very dangerous time. At that time, Waz, Gates and others had obtained the final form, and the little demon king had also obtained the ancestral form. However, he aroused Waz's vigilance at this time. Because Lin Feng is too strong, even if he tries to conceal it, there will always be some traces when he makes a move. Fortunately, the best round came back and successfully dispelled the doubts of Woz and others. If it were exposed at that time, Lin Feng couldn't imagine what his fate would be. Perhaps Little Demon King, Gates, and others won't kill anyone, but Woz's crazy criticism is not a good person. Whoever dares to stop his master from proclaiming himself king, he dares to kill. However, in the end, I still stood on my own until the end. So, Lin Feng is definitely qualified to teach Jing and this virgin heart, who has not undergone social experience or setbacks. Lin Feng choked on Jinghe's words, stumbling and unable to refute them. That's right. Lin Fengjun is right. Miyin, who sat next to Lin Feng, smiled and said, holding Lin Feng's arm, she was a little bird-like person. Her clean clothes and pure white skin looked out of place with the people around her, more like she was coming for an outing. The fact is that with Lin Feng's protection, Miyin didn't even have the opportunity to transform and didn't need her to fight. Lin Feng glanced over the bar and saw that there were desserts on it. He patted Miyin's hand and ordered. Cat, bring me some food. Okay. Without hesitation, Pommeled Horse Miyin got up with a crooked smile and walked to the bar. Watching Pommeled Horse Miyin cleverly go to fetch Lin Feng dessert, and lovingly pour him a cup of barley tea to relieve his boredom, Jinghe runs around to serve Lin Feng. Jinghe is bewildered. If he remembered correctly, Pommeled Horse Miyin is the daughter of Pommeled Horse Group, and there are millions of fans all over the network. It's not too wrong to say that she is a princess, but such a noble-born person is willing to pour tea and water for others. Jinghe couldn't understand, but he was greatly shocked. Thanks to the fact that Pommeled Horse Guangsheng has no time to watch the live broadcast now, otherwise, when he sees his own pearl serving a man in front of and behind the saddle, he will apply to the event operator for a duel with Lin Feng on the spot. After a while, Cimuli appeared in the lounge and said to the remaining contestants, there is still some time to wait before the second round of the game starts. Players can choose to rest in the lounge or temporarily return to the real world. However, it should be noted that after returning to the real world, you cannot actively disclose any information about the Desire Grand Prix to others, otherwise your eligibility will be cancelled and your memory will be erased. As for the start time of the second round of the game, I will notify everyone through a spider phone via text message. All the contestants choose to return to this world. After all, staying in this lounge is too boring. Unlike the chaos in the realm of demons, reality remains peaceful as if nothing has happened. Whether it's a devil or a grand prize, there is no intersection with ordinary citizens. They didn't know that a group of people were fighting with their lives as Kamen Riders to achieve their ideal world. The group of players returning to reality are no longer Kamen Riders, and have all resumed their original identities. Star in Star, Big Star Yukiyoshi Ingsho, my wife, the Road Chief, is a civil worker who fights against Ashes. Mo Tian, a mediocre high school student, played a duet. Casino official Little Golden House Forest Fish, Pommeled Horse Family Daughter Pommeled Horse Miyin, Sakurai Kazuha, an idle person looking for a job, and a traveler from another world, Wang Lin Feng when encountering demons. Lin Fengjun. When being transported away, Pommeled Horse Miyin grabbed Lin Feng's hand and wanted to be transported to the same place with him. After regaining sight, Lin Feng could no longer be seen beside her. This made Miyin's face full of disappointment. However, Pommeled Horse Miyin immediately cheered up. I want to run away from home. She believed that if Lin Fengjun was the destined person arranged by heaven for her, they would definitely meet again. Of course, the prerequisite is that she cannot stay at home all the time. Anyway, running away from home is not once or twice. Miyin quickly packed her luggage into the suitcase and fled from the big villa of Pommeled Horse family at the speed of light while her mother was not there. What Pommeled Horse Miyin didn't know was that this scene was seen by his father in the bedroom, that is, Pommeled Horse Light Saint. But Pommeled Horse Guangsheng did not stop his daughter. Looking at her lonely back, he said to himself in a deep voice. The only thing I can help you with is this, Miyin. Go pursue your own happiness. Double messengers always attract each other, and perhaps Cayman riders do the same. It seems that it is doomed. Just after Pommeled Horse Miyin got rid of 2 bodyguards, he saw Lin Feng eating in a coffee shop. Pommeled Horse Miyin was ecstatic and more convinced that Lin Feng was his Prince Charming. Lin Feng Jun. Dragging her suitcase in, Miyin sat directly next to Lin Feng. I knew we would meet again, hee. Miyin grabbed Lin Feng's hand, like a little girlfriend. Seeing Miyin, Lin Feng was not surprised. Perhaps the Cayman riders do attract each other, right? Miyin's mouth curved and she was about to speak, but out of the corner of her eye, she saw 2 bodyguards from the black and white double Sha walking towards the coffee shop. It was not easy to meet Lin Feng. Pommeled Horse Miyin didn't want to be captured so quickly. She was anxious to find a place to hide. Suddenly, she noticed that the dining table was covered with a long tablecloth. She had a brainwave and quickly got to the bottom of the table. Chapter 10. The Shock of the Power of Encountering Demons. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. After the white mist dissipated, the forest in front of me had undergone a great transformation. Trees have been uprooted one after another, some even torn to pieces, leaving only fragments of tree trunks. The ground, which was originally covered with green plants, has also disappeared and turned into a deep and bottomless spring. As for the demonic disciples and their leaders, it was already torn to pieces, not even a single piece of body was left behind. Such a scene made everyone present chaotic. In just the blink of an eye, the forest turned into a big lake. If it weren't for seeing it with one's own eyes, who would have believed it? Who dares to believe it? Looking at Lin Feng's back, the cat bear's eyes flashed with enthusiasm and anticipation. With such a powerful buckle, I must have it in my hand. With this buckle, I can definitely become the god of desire. Li Yang was also watching Lin Feng, and his fear of him deepened. Jinghe looked at the long lake water, then turned his head to look at Lin Feng. His eyes were somewhat complicated, with speculations, doubts, confusion, and more curiosity. As a multifaceted contestant with deep secrets, I have never seen someone like Lin Feng in the long life of Yukiyoshi Ingsho. Fusha Ingsho had a premonition that Lin Feng's hidden secrets were not less than his own, and even more. What kind of person are you? Fusha Ingsho took off the buckle on his waist and murmured to himself. My wife Dao Chang lifted her transformation, and his fear of Lin Feng, who possessed such terrifying power, deepened. Desire Grand Prix Lounge. Watching the live broadcast footage and the forest replaced by a deep lake, Kiroli's expression was as complex as that of a fox. For him, the good news is that the contestants have been saved from being destroyed by the cult, and Archimedal's conspiracy has not been successful. The bad news is that the annoying Jinghe has not been eliminated, and a player who seems even worse than Jinghe has arrived. However, for the audience, Lin Feng's joining should be considered good news. Looking at the other screen, Lin Feng was far ahead in the number of rewards, and Kiroli's expression became even more complex. His mood was very conflicted. On the one hand, he was happy to see Fusha Ingsho suffer because he didn't want to see Fusha Ingsho win the championship again and fulfill his boring wishes. On the other hand, Lin Feng looked even more difficult to control than Fusha Ingsho, a man he couldn't see through. Kiroli shook his head and temporarily suppressed these complex thoughts. Seeing that Cimuli was still immersed in shock beside him, Kiroli asked with emotion. Cimuli, do you think Lin Feng's participation in the Desire Grand Prix is a good thing or a bad thing? Cimuli finally came to her senses and replied. Of course it's a good thing. Lin Feng's joining has added a lot of uncertainty and improved the viewing experience of this year's Desire Grand Prix. And if it weren't for him, the knights might have been killed a lot this time. The most important thing is that the audience really likes Lin Feng. Kiroli nodded and shook his head again. I'm worried that he will waste precious opportunities to make wishes and fulfill some boring wishes, just like Fusha Ingsho. By the way, what wish did Lin Feng make? Kiroli's heart skipped a beat and asked Cimuli to find Lin Feng's wish card. Cimuli immediately set off and found the box containing the wish card. After searching, Cimuli found a wish card with Lin Feng's name written on it. Upon flipping over, Cimuli's big eyes widened wide. How could it be? Kiroli leaned over to take a look and was also stunned, his mouth slightly open. In theory, there are already 8,000 wishes that the two of them have met, but what wishes have they not met? The reason for showing such an expression is because there's nothing written on the wish card. Yes, Lin Feng did not make a wish. Cimuli is really dumbfounded. It's the first time since she became a game guide that she has seen someone submit a white card without writing any wishes. The girl murmured to herself. If there is no desire, what is the purpose of Lin Feng's participation in the Desire Grand Prix? Kiroli on the side was taken aback. Yes, the reason why people participate in the Desire Grand Prix, risking their lives to participate in the competition and fight against evil spirits, is to win the championship, to become the god of desire, and to obtain the only chance to fulfill their wishes. But if there is no wish to fulfill, why not give up the competition from the beginning and apply for withdrawal? It's like a professional athlete participating in a competition, not for money, not for honor, not for realizing their dreams. So why participate in a competition? Why? This is simply incomprehensible. This is an opportunity to fulfill any wish. Moreover, currently it seems that Lin Feng has a great chance of winning the championship. Lin Feng's dominance on the field deepened their doubts. But now is not the time to think about these things. Kiroli shook his head and reminded Cimuli to bring the contestants back to rest first. Only then did Cimuli realize that the leader of the thief and demon had been eliminated by Lin Feng, and the first round of treasure hunting game had come to a complete end. I'm going now. What's going on? Isn't the leader of the evil cult already destroyed? We should be going, right? The frightened Uncle Liang was cursing and cursing, and the next second, the ears of all the remaining contestants rang out with the voice of Cimuli. Congratulations to all the contestants for successfully eliminating the leader of the thieves and demons. Successfully complete the first round of treasure hunting game. The next second, a group of contestants were stunned and teleported away from the venue of the boss battle to the contestant lounge. Kiroli, dressed in a white suit, introduced herself. This is the temporary rest salon for the contestants. My name is Kiroli and I am the waiter here. Not only can this place provide a place to rest, but injured athletes can also receive treatment here. Players can come to me if they need anything. As soon as Kiroli finished speaking, Sakurai Kagehwa, who had a lost expression on his face, suddenly stood up and asked. I want to ask, where have those disappearing players gone? As soon as Jinghe spoke, the atmosphere of the entire salon suddenly tightened and became no longer relaxed. My wife, the Taoist priest who has participated in the competition multiple times, sneered. I think you should have guessed. Fu Shiringsho looked at Jinghe and explained calmly. There are only two ways for contestants to exit, one is to eliminate them normally, and when they exit, the data will turn blue and disappear. Another type is death elimination, as the name suggests, which means being eliminated after being killed by an evil demon, and disappearing as red data when exiting. Kiroli nodded slightly and added. Normally eliminated players will have their memories about the game sealed and return to the real world. When the core ID is released again, the sealed memories will be released. And the players eliminated by death. They don't have a second chance. As soon as he spoke, Jinghe's pupils suddenly tightened into needles. He cleared his memory that the senior of Pinxiaran was killed by an evil demon, and when he left, his body was shining with a red light. Does this mean Jinghe collapsed and shouted, how could this be? The son of Senior He Xiaoren is still in the hospital. He came to participate in the competition to cure his son's illness. Now that he has passed away, what will his son do? Kind scenery and inability to accept this cruel fact.